BXB. It's in the game!
Hey guys, it's me Ben, back with another one of my quick reviews for bxbgames.co.uk. I will say this, there's at the top of the review, I don't normally do this, but there's been a lot of new people joining up recently, so please head over to bxbgames.co.uk, like and subscribe, and it only helps raise our visibility. And talking about visibility, here's a game I want to talk about because not many people are. This is Masters of Anima. And Masters of Anima is a cool new sort of fantasy action RPG, which I would say has both been heavily influenced by, of all random Nintendo exclusive properties, Pikmin. This is a game in which you focus predominantly on small unit tactics. But we'll get to that shortly. Let me just say, as we're watching some of the cutscenes and stuff in the opening intro here of the video game, that Masters of Anima has a really nice, refreshing, pretty original fantasy setting. And while the setting is perhaps a little rote, you know, we're post-apocalypse, we're kind of in a rebuilt society after a great scourge and stuff. It does a good job of introducing this universe's particular type of magic, and then what it really does well. What Masters of Anima really surprised me with was the characters. I really immediately liked Otto, the kind of slightly held back, reluctant shaper. For all intents and purposes, they're the wizards of this world. And his betrothed and also master shaper, Anna. And then there's the old fuddy-duddies. I even enjoyed the over-the-top villain of the piece. It all comes together really nicely and really helped bring me into the universe and make me care about the characters and the actions I was doing. But let's talk about the gameplay, because the gameplay is pretty unique. Now, you control Otto. Now, while you have a staff and you can wield it as a weapon, predominantly what you're doing is harnessing the anima, harnessing this sort of magical force to shape and construct the world around you. And that means, you know, bringing units to bear. So you can like make melee units, ranged units, and so on and so forth, with more variety and depth as the game goes on. More classes are unlocked, and obviously the strategic depth of how you're going to use them in different situations grows based on that. Now, what this means is that predominantly you're going to be doing these small unit tactics. You're moving the melee and ranged magic and whatever type units around the combat arenas, around the maps you're on, to fight with you at the same time. So it's quite hectic. It takes a bit of getting used to. However, I was very impressed with the control scheme and how well it mapped to the controller, and how easy it was to select different units and move them around and get them to engage these sort of animated evil ogres and troll type characters that you're going to face, that the evil wizards are bringing to face you in your quest to save your beloved Anna. And you really do go on this quest with Otto. You do care about these characters. In the short time you have before Anna is whisked away from you, they really establish that bond between the characters really well. I really enjoyed the combat and the action in this game. It's very different. Like I said, it reminds me the most of Pikmin, and there hasn't been many games in that sort of vein ever made, really. The sort of direct control element, like, yeah, it puts you in those smaller battle situations, so it's not as abstract as an RTS. You definitely feel very involved and very much like you're there in that combat. But at the same time, yeah, you're spawning in new enemies, you're throwing them at your opponents, you know, you're trying to manage, you know, your abilities as best as possible with buffs and your attacks as well. And you know, you're doing things like the different units will buff each other in different ways. For example, ranged enemies will pierce through armor to make the enemies more vulnerable to direct attack and stuff like that. So there's lots of buffs and counter buffs on display here. It's a lot of fun to play. It's very engaging. It's very different to what I've seen before. So for the most part, I really enjoyed Masters of Anima. I really like the little story. It's at a good price point. It's a fun world. It's got great writing, a brilliant visual style, really nice music. So I think Masters of Anima deserves nothing less than a 4 out of 5 stars.
BXB. It's in the game!